Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the 2025 Richland County Open Class Hog Show. Tonight we're going to have 6 classes, 31 total pigs to be judged. Before we get started and introduce our exhibitors and so forth, I would like you all to please stand, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, I'm going to hand the mic to Abby Snyder, and she's going to introduce our judge.
Your judge today is Connor Smock from Botkins, Ohio. Connor is a graduate of Lakeland College, where he earned an associate's degree and was a member of the livestock judging team, competing at contests all across the country. He then earned his bachelor's degree in ag business at The Ohio State University. He now works as an insurance agent at Luger's Insurance Agency in Sydney, Ohio. Connor also runs a 25-head sow show pig operation, MCJ Genetics, with his 2 brothers, Micah and John. Give a round of applause for our judge, please.
Very quick rundown on, in case this is your first time here for this show, here's how we're going to run it. We've got 31 head. Our judge this evening is going to place these pigs. We're going to do the top 7. In his placing, he's going to try to place them how he thinks that they're going to hang on the rail. This is the on-foot part of it. The on-rail, these pigs will be hauled out tomorrow morning. They will be set to Heffelfinger meats. They will be graded on rail and placed again. Last year, Connor did a fine job. 5 of the 7 pigs that he picked on foot placed on rail. This job is a lot harder than it looks. So to do that is quite an accomplishment. But he did say that he wants to go 7 for 7 tonight. So we'll see what happens. I would also like to introduce the barn superintendents and assistant superintendents from the senior fair that puts this on. Mike Cook is your barn superintendent. Your assistants are Andy Burr, Brian Stevens, and Jim Bly. This also would not be possible without sponsors. And as I said, this is a 2-part show. We have on foot and we have on rail. You will notice all these pigs come out, they'll have pink ear tags in them. They will also have exhibitor cards on their back. If everything can keep straight, the ear tag on their back is going, or the exhibitor number on their back is going to match the ear tag of the pig. Those were donated by the Lanny Hopkins family. And Lanny has been a part of this open class show longer than I think I've been alive. So I want to thank you very much. With that being said, each one of our exhibitors is going to receive a banner and a coupon for fries. And if we could have the Van Dyne family of the girls, I want them to just kind of parade around what each little exhibitor here is going to receive in a banner. And these are donated by Scott and Brittany Van Dyne and girls. Thank you very, very much. I'm going a little bit in reverse here. Our on-rail part, that part of the show takes place at Heffelfinger's Meats. But our sponsor is Borman Crop Insurance. Agents Mike Ahoff, Nicole Lynch, and Logan Vale, and they have, with prize money and banners, have donated over $1,000 that will be paid out for the on-rail part of this. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, tonight, our reserve grand champion is going to receive a banner from Shoemaker Farms, and I believe Kevin Shoemaker is here. He's going to represent them, and he will be passing that out to our reserve grand champion. Thank you, Shoemaker Farms. Thank you, Kevin. Now, our grand champion on foot is going to get a banner, and I just want to say a few words about this guy. If it's happening at the Richland County Fair, this guy is involved with it. He busts his butt around here. He does a lot of stuff, and I think he deserves a heck of a lot of recognition. Half of the equipment out here has Grower Farm stickers on it because it's his own equipment. And I'm telling you what, he really, really takes pride in keeping this fair going. He does a lot. I know there's a lot of other people that do help, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but anybody that knows Grower Farms and Mr. Dave Grower, he never says no. And he is our grand champion sponsor on foot. Thank you very much, Dave Grower. Now, at this time, I'm going to announce our exhibitors. And if you could, please hold your applause till the end. And then, after I announce the last one, I want each exhibitor to come over here, shake our judges' hands, our sponsors' hands, and so forth. They're going to receive their participation banners and so forth. Then they're going to they'll head back to the barn, and then we'll get started here. Mason Hefner, Nash Sifferlin, Brindley Milner, Luke Grove, Sawyer German, Madison Humphrey, Blake Hewlett, Casey Eshelman, Clayton Dahl, Jackson Bly, Alex Hummel, Gabe Beisel, Aaliyah Flenner, Layla Hummel, Quinn Watkins, Jace Studer, Oakley Grower, Griffin Williams, Brooklyn Grove, Mariah Humphrey, Rudy Alt, Kevin Hedesy, Kimber Howell, Henry Studer, Tegan Hedesy, Lane Studer, and Sydney Beisel. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause. I would also like to thank their parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, whoever helps so these kids can participate in this show. Thank you very much. We will get these kids through here, get them back to the barn, and we'll get Class 1 in here. Also, while we're getting ready and the kids are getting back, if there's somebody that's not here watching and you want to send them a quick text, this show is being live broadcast on YouTube, and all they have to type in is Richland County, Ohio Fairgrounds, and they can dial into YouTube and watch this live. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you. All right, as they get the pigs ready, here's how the show's going to run. We're going to bring in a class. The judge is going to tell us which pigs, it could be 1, 2, 3, none, we don't know, that he wants to return for a final drive. They'll release the class. They'll bring in the class 2 and repeat the process all the way down through. All the ones that he marked that he wants to return for the final drive will be returned at that time. Then he will place 7 pigs in the holding pens down here to the north end in no particular order. The rest of the final drive will be released. At that point, we'll bring the 7 pigs out of those holding pens, and at that point, he will go out and he will start placing 7th all the way up to grand champion. just so you can follow along a little bit better. That's how we're going to go ahead and do this. I know he likes to start crap, but no, that's good. Class 1, entering the ring, Mason Hefner, Nash Sifferlin, Brindley Milner, Luke Grove, Sawyer German.
Good evening, and thank you for having me out here. I'm excited to be back here. I had a good time last year. I got 5 out of 7. Let's hope for 7 out of 7 tonight, and that way I can tell my older brother I did better than him a couple years ago. But I think it's a real good class to start out with, and there's one that I find real easily, and that's a young lady over there in the pink and white stripe, 47. It's a blue gilt that's real nice. It's one that comes out here. She's the freshest in her makeup, and she's the freshest in her makeup. One that you can stouten up at the ground, but in terms of flexibility and athleticism, that's an easy one to find, just in terms of muscle and overall finish. Another one that I'm going to bring back is the old black bear over here. One that comes out and draws your attention right away just from muscle shape on the top side of his skeleton, but also offers enough look up front. Maybe one you want to pick up off the pasterns and square him up as he comes at you and as he goes, but real good bear to come back at the end of the night. Another one that's going to come back is the blue bear here in the middle with this Aztec shirt. Another bear that offers some freshness on the top side of the skeleton. One that you get him behind, maybe want to pull him apart, and as he comes right at you, pull him apart there too. But in terms of overall muscle and product, one that's got plenty to come back here later on this evening. Keep talking the other two that are going to go back to the barn that we won't see again is this blue and white bear here. One that offers some functional build from the side and some look up front, but just doesn't have enough power and overall muscle to come back and compete against the rest of them. Another one that drew my attention from the get-go was this belted bear over here, just from a stoutness and overall product. But when you really get into him, he looks one that's a little staler and a little bit older, just in the shape of his head and his overall muscle quality and shape. Just looks like he's a little bit past his prime. So we're going to send him back to the barn. But a real good, nice set to start out the evening. Let's have some fun tonight.
From Class 1, returning for your final drive, Mason Hefner, Nash Sifferlin, and Sawyer German. Class 2, entering ring, Madison Humphrey, Blake Hewlett, Casey Esselman, Blair Hewlett, Clayton Dahl.
here in Class 2, I think there's some different types and kinds to go ahead and sort. And in no particular order, we're going to bring the young lady here in pink back with number 1 here. I think 1, and you kind of compare that one back to this calico one over here. Just offers more cutability and shape on the top side of a skeleton. Just offers more true power and width. Now, sure, get in behind her. You might want to square up from hock to ground, pick her up off her pasterns, and maybe to help her out here going forward. But a real nice pig to bring back here later on this evening. Going back to the calico bear, I think one that maybe gets a little plainer in the shape up high, but one that offers tons of broad shape in terms of dimension there on the top side of a skeleton. Good job. Another one that we're going to go ahead and bring back is the young man over here in the corner with the blue bear, and I want to compliment this young man for keeping that pig white, racing Chesters. I know it's not easy keeping them that white, but he did a real good job there. One that drives out your real Bolden in her chest, and maybe you want to pull her apart in her center portion of her body and make her a little bit more pliable. But I think in terms of muscle shape on the up high, that one's real hard to beat there. We're gonna elect to not bring this one back here, but I think one in terms of functionability and structure offers some quality. But I think you get in that one, it's a little plainer shaped and just a little bit past their prime. I just need to add some more cutability and muscle up high. The same thing goes for this one over here. One that offers some function, but just doesn't come with the power and the muscle that the 3 of them that we're gonna go ahead and bring back. But real good job to those kiddos. Thank you.
Returning from Class 2, Madison Humphrey, Casey Esselman, Clayton Dahl. Entering the ring, Class 3, Clayton Dahl, Jackson Bly, Alex Hummel, Gabe Beisel, Aaliyah Flanner, Layla Hummel. I would also like to recognize Wayne's Country Market for donating mulch for the show ring, and Jeff and Diana Studer for the pellet bedding that sits on top. I think it makes for a very, very nice show ring, and it lasts all week. Thank you very much.
Another good class comes out, and again, in no particular order. We're going to go ahead and bring another 3 back because I think there's some quality in this class from top down. And just start out with this young man in the American flag out here in the middle. He's going to go ahead and come back. And I think one that offers some meat animal product that has some shape up high and just overall dimension is probably unmatched in this class. Sure, I'd like to freshen him up on the top side of his skeleton, but when it comes at you square and leaves you square, that's a good pig all the way down to the ground and all the way through. Another one that's going to come back is this young man. Skin and hair's on point here in the Aztec number 5. Front 2/3 of this gilt I think is incredible just in terms of look up front. Get on the top side of that one. She's fresh, has some shape. Now, sure, I'd like to change her hip as she gets a little bit shorter and rounder. But at the end of the day, this is a market show. And she's obviously gotten here to market weight. So we're going to call her good enough to bring her back. Another one that's going to come back is this young lady in the white over here. And I think one in terms of stoutness and feature is probably the best in class. That one's got a big bendy hind leg. In terms of shape, he's the freshest one up high. Maybe not as much as dimension as another one I talked in here, but a real good one to come back later. We're not going to bring the Berkshire one back here, but in terms of market quality, that one's got some. He's got some dimension, just not as fresh up high. Need to freshen that one up through his neck and head there. But one that might grab some Berkshire Gold premiums here when they go to rail. So hopefully that don't make me look silly. Another one that's real good, I think, is this one over here. Is just in terms of just need to freshen that one up in his skin and hair. But I think has some shape up high. Like to square that one up as he goes and pick him up off his pasterns to go ahead and be able to bring him back. One that has some, the down-eared one over here is a tall-shouldered one that offers some look up high, but just doesn't have the overall power and punch as the other ones in here in class. Good job to these kiddos. Thank you.
Returning from Class 3, Clayton Dahl, Jackson Bly, Leah Flanner.
Another real good class as we get in here into the heavier weights. I think there's two that I'm going to bring back here, and I think this blue bear here is one that's exceptionally really well. That's a show barrel look from the side as he drives right at you. He's one that's busted open and leaves you square. Get on top of that one. That one's the freshest one out of his top side, out of the back side of his shoulder, and is such clean in his front third. That's a real good bear. I can't wait to see him come back. Another one that we're going to bring back is this young lady here in the middle in this belted pig. Skin and hair is exceptionally good on this one. That's a stout feature gilt that proportions so well and offers tons of shape on the top side of his skeleton. Good job, man. So we'll go ahead and see those two back here. The Duroc gilt over here. Duroc appearing gilt over here is one that offers some function in terms of athleticism. Just like to see that one be a little bit more pliable there through a center body back into her flank, but one that offers some look up front there as well. I think one here, the sandy color bear over here in the middle, one that offers plenty of pliability there through the center portion of her body. You just need to stouten that one up at the ground, add some more muscle and product there on the top side. Another good one here is it offers some stoutness and muscle shape there on his back third. I just like to fill that one in and make her a little more pliable there through the center portion of her body there through her forerib and back into her flank and pull her up off her pasterns or go ahead and bring her back. Thank you very much.
Returning for Class 4, Quinn Watkins, Jace Studer. Class 5 getting ready to enter the ring. Mariah Humphrey, Rudy Alt, Jackson Bly, Kevin Hedesy, Kimber Howe.
here in our fifth class, I think there's a couple real good here at the top, and the quality goes all the way down to the bottom. We're going to go ahead and bring 3 of them back, and one of them we're going to bring back is this young man here in American shirt. A real good bear that offers plenty of broad dimension on the top side of his, right out of the back side of his shoulders. Sure, I'd like to power that one up and give him a little bit more punch right there from behind. The one that offers still enough pliability and power to go ahead and bring him back. Another one we're going to bring back is this young lady here in the blue. A real good gilt in terms of hair and skin. Love her structure and feature at the ground. A really good one in terms of broad and muscle shape right out of the top side of it, out of the back side of her shoulder. Real excited to see that one come back here later on. Another one that we're going to bring back is a young man here at the 46. I think that's a real good gilt. I think in terms of power and punch right on the top side of a skeleton, that one's second to none here in class. Sure, I'd like to stouten her up at the feet, at the ground, but a real good gilt to bring her on back. One of it gets real close is a Duroc appearing bear over here in the middle. I think in terms of power and right there on the backside of his shoulder, he's really good there. Just need to add more pliability there in his flank, give him a shot more punch and true power and width as he comes and goes. Another real close one. As a young man here in the Aztec shirt, I think in terms of structure and athleticism, that one's real good. Just need to stouten that one up at the ground, add some more power and overall dimension all the way throughout on that gilt. But a real good job to these kids.
Returning from Class 5, Mariah Humphrey, Rudy Alt, Jackson Bly. Entering the ring for Class 6, Henry Studer, Jackson Bly, Tegan Hennessy, Lane Studer, Sydney Beisel.
great class to round out the evening here, and we're going to go ahead and elect to bring 3 of these back. We're going to go ahead in no particular order start off with this young man here in American shirt with the black-headed pig here. I think one that's got plenty of power and punch up high. Get in behind that one, and he's maybe needs a little bit more power and lengthen his hip out ever so slightly. One of maybe fighting an injury. He's got a little bit of swelling there in his right hock, but I think that's a cool pig. Excited to see that one come back. Another one that's going to come back is this young man with the blueberry here in the middle. I think in terms of his hip and hind leg, he's second to none here in class. That's where he's got the advantage over the other 2 I'm keeping. But I think in terms of power up on top side of his skeleton, look up front, that's a real good pig. Pull him up off his pasterns and elevate him up front as he wants to run downhill ever so slightly. But that's a good pig to bring on back. Another one we're going to bring back is this white-footed, predominantly all blackberry here. I think that's a real good pig to bring on back. Yeah, he's got a neat and cool stout mug up front. Maybe clean him up there in his neck ever so slightly. But as you get on top of here, he's unmatched in terms of power and punch. Sure, I'd like to change the way he utilizes his hock there ever so slightly, but I think that's a real good pig. The 2 pigs over here in the corner over here, the Hereford appearing and kind of a spotted up one here, I think 2 that offer some function, athleticism, but in terms of overall power and punch and overall muscle, you just need to stouten those up and give them a little bit more punch to bring them on back. So excited to see these back here. We'll get this going. Thank you.
Returning from Class 6, Henry Studer, Jackson Bly, Lane Studer. While we're waiting for pigs to show up for the final drive, I'd also like to go over our sponsors one more time. Our grand champion on-foot sponsor is Grower Farms, Mr. Dave Grower. Reserve grand champion on foot, the banner's being donated by Shoemaker Farms, represented by Kevin Shoemaker. The on-rail sponsors that is paying over $1,000 for this show is Borman Crop Insurance, agents Mike Olaf, Nicole Lynch, and Logan Vale. Our participation banners that each child received was the banners, and a coupon for fries out on the Medway is Scott and Brittany Van Dynen girls. The ear tags and entry cards donated by the Lanny Hopkins family. And also, once again, our mulch and pellet bedding that will last all week in this show ring is Wayne's Country Market and Jeff and Diane Studer. Thank you all very, very much. As the barn help, which I really want to commend, that started this afternoon of setting this ring up. Also, Abby Snyder for running the computer for us, and everybody that had a part in this. It takes a lot to do this. We have 17 pigs returning for the final drive. What our judge is going to do is he will have all 17 pigs out here. He will be placing 7 pigs back into the 7 holding pens in no particular order. And then the remaining 10 pigs will be released. At that point, he will release all 7 pigs out, and then we will start placing from 7th place up to your grand champion 2025 open class market hog. We have a few exhibitors out here that has more than one entry, so there will be other people showing the hogs, and I do not have their names. But the ones that I do have names on is Mason Hefner, Nash Sifferlin, Sawyer German, Madison Humphrey, Casey Eshelman, Clayton Dahl, Jackson Bly, Aaliyah Flenner, Quinn Watkins, Jace Studer, Mariah Humphrey, Rudy Alt, Henry Studer, and Lane Studer.
I'm already gonna have to step out. We gotta deal with the frickin' Judy Dillard frickin' dumbass meeting.
here as we pin our 7 in no particular order, and I can assure you of that. I think there's a couple out here that are really, really close. The young lady out here in the pink, this one gives me some fits. That one's really good. I think in terms of overall product and shape, that one's really good. You just compare her back to the ones that I went and pinned. I just don't think she's got enough finish. She gets a little pinch there in the ham loin. I'd like to add a little bit more cover to that one and get her to go ahead and get her in that top 7. That one's real, real close. Another one that gets close to me is this black-headed bear right here. I think one in terms of overall product, that one's really demanding. But you step back and study that one. That one's a little bit overdone. That one's got a little bit too much finish. I'd like to go ahead and pull some cover off that one and just go ahead and freshen that one up ever so slightly. Another one that gets close is this blue one right here. I think you just get him behind that one. He doesn't have enough power and punch right there from behind. The blue bear over there in the corner, get on top of that one. That one's got some fresh shape. But again, get him behind it. It just comes too narrow, and he drives right at you a little bit too narrow. I'd like to broaden that one up ever so slightly. The rest of these out here, I just, in terms of freshness and overall power and punch on the top side of their skeleton, just like to add a little bit more there. And that bluegill over there, just a little more pliability and cover to go ahead and put those in our top 7. So thank you, and good job to these exhibitors out here, and hope to have a good rest of the fair.
In no particular order, the 7 that we have out here that we'll be placing in the top 7 is Sawyer German, Leah Flenner, Jace Studer, Mariah Humphrey, Rudy Alt, Henry Studer, and Lane Studer. All right. The decision has been made. I will announce from 7th place up to our grand champion. As I announce the 7th, then the judge is going to talk about it. Our 7th place overall Open Class 2025 is number 32, Lane Studer.
As we dive back into these here in the Grand Drive, it's real difficult. I challenge anybody to come out here and pick 7 out of these 31, and it's real difficult. They're all real good, but I ended up landing on number 32 here, the Blue Bear, to go 7th. I think just one that comes out of the heavyweight class there in Class 6, one that still offers plenty of power and punch, but you get on top side of that one for how big he is. He's got arguably the most narrowest back out of the 7 of them out here. He's a stout feature one that's got some athleticism, but I just like to freshen him up and add some more dimension on the top side of his skeleton and throughout to go ahead and get him any higher compared to the other ones out here.
Moving on, our number 6 overall 2025 Open Class Carcass,
Good job, man.
number 34, Henry Studer.
I think another one that pops out here, and he's a challenging one because originally when we got him out here, he's one that I didn't quite find when we popped those initial 17 out here to sort back our 7. And he kind of got lost in there in the mix. But then once I found him, he's the one that's got plenty of power and punch on the top side of his skeleton. Comparatively to his brother's pick, he's got more true freshness out of the back side of his shoulder. But I argue he still needs to be cleaned up in his chest and his crest and neck to get him up any higher and lengthen him in his hip and get him a little more punch there as he goes in behind you and change the way he leaves there in his hock. But a real good pig to land in 6th.
Our number 5 overall 2025 Open Class Carcass goes to Aaliyah Flanner.
This young lady's pig was a real challenge for me to go ahead and find a spot for him because I think he's won, and I ended up landing him in 5th because I was debating on swapping him there with the young man that lands there in 6th. There he's the one ahead of him. I just don't think he's got as much power as the ones ahead of him, but arguably over the 2 below him, he's got more. He's the fresher one. He's a cleaner through his head and neck. Get on the top side of him. He's got a bigger ditch running down through the center of his back. He's just a pounds light one out of the ones that kind of go ahead of him. But to me, he's a fresher one here in the bottom trio, but a real good pig to land there in 5th.
Our number 4 overall 2025 Open Class Carcass goes to Sawyer German, number 47.
When this gilt came out in class, I thought she was going to be a real good one, a hard one to beat. She just kind of gets out-powered here in the ones that go ahead of her. She's super intriguing as you get her out here. She's a functional one. She's the athletic one out here, getting on her front 1/3. She's the one that's got probably arguably the most look out of any of these out here. She is the pounds lighter one, which allows her to stay a little bit cleaner and fresher. I challenge you guys to get out here on top of this one. This one's got a huge back comparatively to those 3 that land behind her. But she is fresh. She's a big backed one, carries all the way throughout, and I like that pig a good deal. Thank you.
Before we get to it, Kevin Shoemaker, we need you in the ring, please. Our 3rd overall, number 46, Rudy Alt.
The Blue Bear that lands here in 3rd is real intriguing. She offers some challenge just because I'd like to add some more pliability there through the center portion of her body. And I heard the older gentleman over here tell him to go back and feed some more and water some more, and I couldn't agree more. But that one's real intriguing. You get on the top side of her, she's just fresh. She's on the top side of her skeleton. She packs tons of punch there into her ham and down in through her stifle. I think that one's got a tons of power and punch all the way down. She's a stout feature one that offers enough look up front. I'm intrigued to see how that one goes to rail.
our reserve overall and our banner being sponsored by Shoemaker Farms, represented by Kevin Shoemaker, the reserve grand champion 2025 open class carcass, goes to Mariah Humphrey.
Bella Gill here that lands in second. I think she's a real neat piece that came out here. She caught my eye in class, and I knew initially she was going to be one that was going to be hard to beat. You get a look on that one. Her front 1/3 is real intriguing. She's got look. She's a fresh one out here. And just in terms of power and punch, she's square. She's all the way through. That's a real good pig to land there in second.
Well, if you remember what I said when we started this, that Grower Farms was our open class sponsor for the grand champion. And I talked about Dave Grower and everything he's done and all this. Well, guess what? There was another job he had to go do, and he had to step out. But Luke Grower, his son, is stepping in for him, and they're sponsoring the grand champion banner for the open class 2025 grand champion. Now, I'd like to say a couple little things before I announce the name, and I'm sure most of you know it. This young gentleman is a non-verbal autistic gentleman. And what it takes by his parents, Jeff and Diana Studer, to have this young kid out here to do this, it's amazing. The hours spent, the time spent to be able to pull him out of there and have him come and get in this ring and participate. Yes, I know him personally, and they put a lot of time in this kid to be able to do this, and I think it's wonderful. And our 2025 open class grand champion, sponsored by Grower Farms, represented by Luke Grower, is Jace Studer.
I think that's real special, and I commend that young man for being out here, and his parents for doing a great job with him, and his siblings are doing an awesome job. This pig he came out and he caught my eye initially. You probably seen me perk up a little bit when he first came out. I knew he was going to take a special one to beat that one. That one's got the show barrel look. He comes out, he drives at you square and wide. And then I was hoping to get in behind him and let him be square, and he's just square enough. But in terms of his look and his front 1/3, that one's special. Get on the top side of that one. He's the freshest one. I wouldn't say he's the freshest one out here, but he's fresh. He's got the biggest back out here. He's just the one to balance the proportions the best. That's a real good pig to go ahead in there and win. Congratulations to these kiddos.
I would like to thank everybody there for their help, everybody that come out and supported these young exhibitors. And could we give a good round of applause for our judge, Mr. Connor Smock? If any of the top 7 would like to get pictures with the judge, he is willing to stay around and get pictures in the backdrop. So if you want to bring your animal out and so forth, you can do that.